that if you wanted to do yourself up a bit, I wouldn't lose all sense of control.
Clean and untidy, and going beyond that is only asking for trouble.
How did your husband know you were ready for courting? It must have taken uncommon valour to tackle you without a bit of encouragement.
He got as much as was necessary. I never saw the need to be really enthusiastic.
So, I rushed all the way up from the cellar, got to the phone just in time, and a voice said, "Congratulations, you've just won £1,000 off a fitted kitchen."
They usually catch you at tea time.
People used to wear grace with a meal.
Now, it's congratulations, you've just won £1,000 off a fitted kitchen.
That's one place I do miss the former Mrs. Truelove. She was exceptionally talented at being nasty on the telephone. She wasn't bad off it either.
I always tell them I'm a lunatic. I'm not allowed to make decisions.
Well, I suppose that's better than lying.
So, I get rid of that lot, and I go down the street, and I bump straight into this creature in a wedding dress. You think you know a person, and then you see them in a wedding hat. And the husband was there looking embarrassed too.
There is no need to be alarmed. Wedding hats are all like that. They're designed to shock.
How come that wedding hats are getting bigger and marriages shorter?
It's true. I mean, you can hire most things for weddings these days, and that seems to include the bride.
But they still have the honeymoon first, or is it the divorce?
There's a bottle just floating past with a message in it.
Answer that bottle, Alvin. It could be for thee.
Don't slouch. Look alert. People like to see their guardians of the law looking active and alert. They realise there's only us between them and total anarchy.
What about you? You're half asleep.
With all the villainy about.
He's away on a course.
Not the Chief Inspector. He's not the only villain.
He's the only one that rattles me.
You know why that is, don't you? It's because your conscience isn't clear.
No, because I don't lie as well as you.
I thought you did. I thought you'd come on nicely.
Cut the funnel. Hey, you're not having that last sandwich. I'm saving it for later.
If there is a later, you are aware that in this job, our lives are on the line every minute.
Even when you're having a ziz?
You may think I'm having a ziz. Have you ever seen a hawk? Under half-closed lids, these eyes are scanning every which way. And if it moves, it's mine.
Look serious. Maybe dam broke.
Give us a lift to the next bridge. We got a bottle to catch.
Oh, what time bottle leave?
There's a message in it.
Maybe that say what time bottle leave.
Could be a request for help. Maybe somewhere upstream is a broken leg anxiously awaiting rescue party. And of course the rest of him could be there too.
Well, I hate looking for people with broken legs. They're usually pretty miserable when you find them.
You mustn't ignore a cry for help.
A bottle?
A little glass thing.
He rides in back.
I didn't mean to startle him.
Startle him? He's got nerves of steel. We both have.
Really?
Oh, aye, it's a must. There's only us between community and total anarchy. We never sleep.
You were drinking coffee.
Smells like coffee. You notice that? Just what we need, an independent witness.
Witness to what?
This entirely new kind of dangerous substance my colleague and I have just confiscated. Street value of millions.
I thought it were coffee.
Good man. Coming forward like this, we need the support of the community. Even if it means you'll have to testify against the ruthless killers who make this stuff.
I only wanted directions to Cliff Street.
Second left up the hill, turn right.
Thank you.
Coffee!
How do you come up with stuff like that?
Nothing like hot trousers for stimulating the mind.
I still remember the last message that I put in a bottle.
Really? You surprise me. I didn't think you were such a romantic. What did your message say?
1 pint today, please, and a small cream.
Yeah, that sounds a bit more like you. I once dropped a message in a bottle off Southend Pier. Imagine, I'm standing there with a former Mrs. Truelove at the edge of the pier, and the one I throw in is the bottle.
And what did your message say?
It said, should you be reading other people's mail?
There it is.
Oh, yeah. It looks as if they spotted it.
I don't wish to be overcritical. I realise that they're having to improvise, but does that look safe to you?
Well, it looks safe enough for Billy and Entwistle. I'm not so sure about Alvin. Well, there you go, you see. He wasn't safe for Alvin.
Excuse me. I was wondering if I've got the right house. Can you tell me who lives here?
I can tell you who lives here. The man in the iron mask. That's who lives here. A prisoner in this dungeon. Life imprisonment without parole. Oh, hello, love. This gentleman was just asking if he'd got the right house.
Then you're not the only one that wonders about that, then.
I'm looking for Mr. Clegg. Norman Clegg.
Next door, but he's not in.
No, he gets out all the time, every day, free as a bird. For me, it's Stalag Luft 3.
Your husband seems stressed.
We do our best.
What have you got there?
I was hoping you could tell me.
Where did you find it?
It was under that pile of junk in the warehouse.
Junk? I don't ever want to hear that word on your lips. Junk is a 4-letter word which we don't use round here when referring to my reserve stock.
It looks well past any human usefulness.
Ooh, listen who's talking. Oh, I'd almost forgotten this.
What is it?
It's a suit of armour.
What? Whose suit of armour?
Mine.
I knew you was old, but I didn't...
What's your name?
What do you buy a thing like this for?
Because I know a bargain when I see one. And anyway, it was a legitimate business expense. I used to wear bits of it when I had to take money to the bank.
Is it all there?
Look who's asking. Take it back inside. We'll soon find out if it's all there.
Can you remember how many pieces there should be?
I don't have to remember. I just have to help you put it on.
There must be an easier way.
You volunteered.
They shouldn't listen to me. They knows I'm an idiot.
People like this end.
Could be disguised.
Here comes a bottle.
Left a bit. Left a bit. Hey, up. Watch what they're scraping along wall.
Keep eye on bottles.
I will once they've stopped water in.
Call me superstitious, but I have premonition Billy will fall.
Sounds plausible to me.
Lower. Lower. A bit lower. 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 Oh!
Not that much lower. Have you always had this gift for singing to the future?
Comes and goes.
Oh, a lot like Billy.
Will you ask that wet person if he's got the bottle?
Trudy said, did you get the bottle?
I got dropped. That's what I got.
Yeah, we noticed that.
Fast bottle. Must be express.
Listen, I think I hear wet feet.
Feet? I've got web knees.
Did he say what he wanted?
No.
That's because he couldn't get a word in edgeways. I saw you mouthing off at him. You should have asked him what he wanted.
Oh, we don't know him. That's being nosy.
You're right, it is. Ask him in for a cup of tea. Then we can be nosy.
You're wet already, Billy. You might as well go in and get it.
We don't know how deep it is. I'm not going in there.
I thought you laughed at danger.
Not when I'm wet.
Oh, he has a dry sense of humour.
If we could throw something heavy in, it might sort of splash it nearer to us.
What have we got that's heavy that we could throw in?
It's you for a start.
I'll second that.
No, I'm sorry. I promised Mother I would never fly.
Hey, never mind. A man with lasso approaching.
Looks very home on the range, Entwistle. We're impressed. I tell a lie, we're not impressed.
Well, he tied the knot, he got that bit right.
I think he couldn't concentrate because he's had all his cattle rustled and feels unable to ask for the hand of Miss Dixie, the sheriff's daughter.
We cowboys that think he never studied under John Wayne.
Didn't work. He thought I was Indian.
We thought you were Indian. You mean you're not Indian?
White man speak with forked tongue.
Oh.
Ciao very much.
We ought to warn Norman Clegg who it is that's looking for him.
I'll take the bike. I'll wing my way swift as the wind.
Slow down, Swifty. You won't take the bike. You'll get him on the phone.
Norman Clegg with a mobile phone? Never.
You'll be with Alvin and that mob. Alvin has one.
Another exciting break from routine. Howard gets to call Alvin on his mobile.
Bottle coming.
I believe him. He can see the future. He knew Billy was going to fall.
Things not looking too good for you.
Will everyone please note he's joking?
Got that? Only joking, right?
I don't like that man's attitude.
You can trust us, Alvin. Now close your mouth before he gets full of water.
That doesn't sound encouraging either. I shouldn't go home wet, or Nora Batty will find me irresistible.
The worst that can happen is she'll wash and iron you.
Here it comes. Don't miss it this time.
Listen who's talking. I didn't miss it last time.
Any last wish? Like maybe new washing machine?
A dryer's probably more in his line.
Just stretch down when you're ready. Is this man showing grace under pressure or what? Oh.
I hope it's not wrong number.
It's for Cleggy.
For me?
Come on, you dozy beggar.
Well done, Sonny Jim. Get him dry.
Come on. 2, 3. Spread out on there, Alvin. That'll soon be dry.
Just what Chuck needs. Imprint of wet person on bonnet.
Hey, is this the warmest truck you've got?
Hang on, while he revs up, I'll soon feel a difference.
I can feel the difference now. I can feel it here and here.
What's up with Cleggy?
Him.
It's not bad. Just the visor missing.
Not bad. Listen to it.
Fine when you've given it a bit of exercise.
I need some oil.
In your lamp especially.
Wow. Longest night of the year.
Ignore him. He hates shopping.
Hates shopping? Oh, there was a Mr. Quarmby once hated shopping. Came to a bad end.
From hating shopping?
He used to cross the road rather than pass this doorway. Hit and run. I heard this bang and found him lying in the road bleeding. Changed his mind about shopping.
Why?
Because he was so grateful to me that I was there when he needed me. Able to sell him some bandages. Sit down, go and sit down. Now, what can we do for you?
Barry wants a hat.
To be strictly accurate, Glenda wants Barry to want a hat.
You look dignified.
Oh, we can do dignified. I've got shelves full of dignified.
Nobody wears hats.
You'll have the executive look.
For which this establishment is famous. You must have heard people saying, for this season's executive look, go to Auntie's.
I've never heard that.
You've heard it now.
You know what they're like around here? I'll be laughed at in a hat.
You won't be laughed at. I'll kill anybody who laughs.
We'll both kill anybody who laughs. Right, that takes care of the insurance. Now, why don't you try a few on?
I hope she can find one to fit.
It'll fit. If your head's the wrong size, I can't be responsible.
It's Aubrey. He's only a cousin by marriage. I never liked him, even before I found out that he was unlikable. And now he's tracked me down from the ends of the earth.
How far?
Well, from the other side of Huddersfield.
As far as that. I had a cousin in Huddersfield.
Well, you can have this one.
Is he really that bad? I mean, you can tell me. I've experienced the depths of human unpleasantness. An education which began on my wedding day.
I've been on that course.
He's such a know-it-all.
I know the type. And she's got a sister.
You've not got that bottle open yet. You're a lot quicker when there's beer in it.
These things need to be treated with a certain amount of delicacy.
Or maybe hammer.
Yes, hammer would be good. Please ring this number immediately.
A broken leg with a telephone.
So, this is something more mysterious. Even more intriguing.
I bet it's a beautiful princess who's been turned into a frog.
That'll like to keep her phone.
She's under the spell of this wicked witch, but can be released by the first loving kiss.
Alvin wants to kiss a frog.
No. I think I'll wait till I get a good look at her.
Now, why didn't I think of that?
I did, and I still ended up getting married. Women have big power.
Mine's got big everything.
Not that big.
Are you sure? I'm going to have to start looking at her again.
Bring your Barry in. He doesn't have to wait outside.
Yes, bring him in. It's not as if we're terrifying. Oh, I don't know, though.
I've often left Travis outside. He's very good at being left outside. His mother did it all the time. She left him at Blackpool once on a day trip.
Oh, that's terrible. It's nicer at Southport.
He came to me almost fully trained, bless him. And I think he's always been grateful that I've never left him at Blackpool.
As you would. His mother must have been a bit of a dilly, though.
Oh, she was years ahead of her time at bad parenting.
This isn't getting your Barry in.
He won't come in. He's practicing wearing a hat. He thinks you'll laugh at it. And he looks so good in it.
You mean I've lived with Howard just as he is, and all it takes is a hat?
Travis's father, well, the person his mother was living with, used to wear a hat, even in bed.
When did you see him in bed? Was he poorly?
No, he was mostly in bed. He used to keep office hours.
There's no wonder that your Travis was glad to leave home. Fetch your Barry in. Let's have a look at him.
Well, I'll try, but he is a free human being. Come in, Barry.
No.
Come in, Barry.
Coming.
It's just a hat. A perfectly ordinary hat.
It doesn't feel like just a hat. Feels like more hat than I know what to do with.
I bet it suits him when he gets used to it. Once it stops overpowering him.
It's the executive look.
That doesn't want taking too far. You see them in restaurants checking the bills with a pocket calculator.
Turn round, Barry.
I knew they'd want me to turn round.
Turn round, Barry!
I'm not usually to be relied upon in matters of technology, but you know, I don't think that this telephone is working.
Well, we'll just have to find another phone.
Yeah.
What number are we to ring immediately?
But what am I to do about Aubrey?
Look, first things first, this could be an emergency.
Yeah, but I always think that Aubrey is an emergency.
Where this draft gets to.
It could be worse. That could be in a kilt.
And where the sporran goes right now, there's no sign of global warming.
Well, I've heard of taking an interest in people, but isn't this a bit extreme?
He's been sitting on broken glass.
Is that ever going to be popular, do you think?
So, Nom, I never felt a thing.
I think short men are terribly unreliable.
Don't say that. They're better than nothing.
Oh, well, yes. But my advice is to upgrade as soon as possible.
I've never been good with tall. I only had one, and he got fast in my bouffon.
We do seem to have things in common. We're both creatures of fire and emotion.
I sometimes think the boiler's gone out.
Both had disappointments. I'm sure you must have made your mistakes.
Been there, done that. Oh, yes, I've made mistakes. Though not as often as I'd like.
Did you ever renounce men completely?
Went a whole week. Well, if you don't count Thursday.
What happened Thursday?
I got swept away by the uniform.
Oh, yes, it can be like that. Was it a sailor?
Traffic warden. I'd improperly parked my bicycle, but he was very understanding.
Traffic wardens don't make good pets.
No, I've heard that. Although you feel obliged to give things a chance.
Do you think we should try to quit?
Being with Howard, I always feel, is very much the same as cutting down.
Stop moving about. Don't go away.
Is it badly wounded?
I can't see. Can somebody else take a look?
Oh, my
You see? All it needs is exercise. You're improving all the time.
What about the squeak?
Oh, wear off in no time if you take it for a walk. Go on, take it for a good walk.
Well?
What was the message?
We've won £1,000 off a fitted kitchen.
Norman, I know it's been years, but I've taken this little job and I've been authorised to tell you you have won £1,000 off a fitted kitchen.
Kiss me, Barry.
I can't, the hat gets in the way. Look.
Lose the hat, Barry.
No noise. Don't let me down.
Hey, do you think Alexander the Great used to have a packed lunch?
You can't go conquering without a packed lunch. They couldn't drop into a jumbo burger.
History never gets down to these revealing details like, did the man have a painful corn, so he had to wear sandals?
He'd have a corn specialist amongst his retinue. And an ear, nose and throat guy.
He died young, though, didn't he?
Well, maybe his corn went septic.
Well, I expect if they were riding all day, they probably got their corn somewhere else.
Stands to reason he'd have a packed lunch. I bet his mother said, you can't go conquering the known world on an empty stomach.
Keep off those oily foreign foods, she said. Eat your greens.
And don't let me catch you up those mountains without a woolly vest.
Do you think that's why he left home?
Probably.
What did you have in mind? I hope you're not about to try and coax me into a weekend at Brillington.
I'd sooner pay for a ceiling.
You don't like Brillington? Fine. Take me to Cleethorpes.
I want to take in somewhere, and it's not Cleethorpes.
It would have to be separate rooms. You do understand that?
It'd have to be separate boarding houses, and not even the same week.
You shouldn't fight these impulses. I realise I stir your blood. There's no need to be ashamed of it.
Ooh, you stir anybody's blood. You need a lot bigger spoon than you've got.
I shan't be alarmed if you start wearing a bit of makeup and dyeing your curlers a more attractive shade.
I'm not the kind who goes around all dolled up trying to inflame the senses of men.
No, you cracked that all right. I'll give you that.
What's he doing staring into space?
I've just had the last word with Nora Batty. It's not like her. I thought she'd give me a stronger reply. That's better. I thought for a minute she was losing her grip.
What you got for lovers of adventure? I think I've read that.
What's out there that's so fascinating?
Freedom.
Hills are for climbing, not for looking at. Plus, it makes no sense at your age to be in a draft.
Help me! Get help! I'm a prisoner in my own house.
Now you know how it feels. I trust we can look forward to a little more sympathy in future.
Don't be a pain, Howard.
I'll get it. What do you want?
Oh, if you're going to be so shy about asking, I brought his milk. I live next door.
He doesn't want this.
He's always wanted it before.
In future, bring him reduced fat. He wants less fat.
He wants less of you, is what he wants. What are you grinning at?
Nothing, precious. I was just thinking how handy Clegg's cousin will be when you want someone to practice being nasty with.
I don't need the practice. And don't you forget it.
Suppose they hit truck.
This truck?
You're pretty quick on uptake. Yes, this truck.
Let's look at the worst case scenario. 2 people at speed hitting truck.
I don't like already.
Well, here's the good news. If we stay inside, keep our hands and feet out of the way, I think we'll be all right.
What about truck?
Oh, don't ask me truck. I'm a people person. Here they come.
Better than hit truck.
It's an ill wind.
From a distance, would you recognise me? Could I be any golfer, or is there something that says me?
I was miles away. I wondered who it was.
It's our house. I live here. That should have given you a clue.
Next time, cough or something.
I daren't cough. At the first cough, you start jamming medication down me.
Would you rather I didn't care?
No.
I just wish you'd care with something that tasted a bit better.
They used to swear by it.
At it, I can understand. Anyway, dressed like this, at a distance, would you know it was me?
Well, of course. You're supposed to know the person you married.
I'm too conspicuous, aren't I? I'm going to have to tone it down. I need to blend in more, so the captain doesn't see me. I seem to put him off his stroke for some reason.
If he doesn't like playing with you, tell him to play somewhere else.
Glenta? That's like telling Mrs. Batty she can't make a Yorkshire pudding.
How do you know what our Yorkshire puddings are like?
Glenda, some women attract men physically. Others have to manage with great Yorkshire puddings.
Looks like you've been overreaching again.
Takes one to know one. How is Marina?
Those fears. What am I saying? Round here they've got radar.
Go and tell Cleggy to put the kettle on.
Cleggy's not in charge of who puts the kettle on. He's under new management. His cousin Aubrey's taken over.
Sounds like a case for truly of the yard. We'll have to sort that out.
Wife has cousin like that. No cure.
If Alexander the Great could do what he did on a packed lunch, we should be able to help Cleggy.
No question about that. But I can't believe the situation's all that bad.
What do you want?
It is. It's that bad.
Speak up, I haven't got all day.
Is your Norman coming out to play?
Told you. No cure.
He's probably nicer when you get to know him.
Who's ever going to want to?
No. Let's be charitable. I think he's the kind who's never got over losing his sweetheart on the very day of their wedding. Died still clutching her bouquet.
Paramedics probably couldn't get near until the photographer had finished.
They tried to keep it from the bridegroom, but he couldn't help noticing there was only him and the best man.
Two not always company. Sad story. It makes you wonder if they enjoyed reception and disco afterwards.
He's never been strong. I bet he sits inside staring at the one souvenir she left him, the violin, which he'd bravely been learning to play once she recovered the use of her arm.
Which one has a happy ending?
Oh, they all have. I made sure. You can do that with books. Life, on the other hand, is trickier. Do you see me as a tragic figure?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. All you need is a bit off your bottom.
Does it show?
Not when you're behind the desk.
You have to wonder if it's worth bothering.
Oh, it is. It's worth bothering. You've got to believe that.
And in the library, Travis.
They say her husband dotes on her.
Yes, I've heard the whispers. Is it true, then?
Makes you wonder what they have that other people don't have.
I wonder if she'd advise on a consultancy basis.
We were just debating whether romance is still a possibility for the middle-aged.
Or even those much younger.
It's possible at any age. I had a friend who went quite bananas in her 70s. Of course, she'd always been a keen self-improver, handled many of her own repairs.
No, I think romance is one of the last things to go. Although eventually it does become a race against arthritis.
You really got a touch on the elbow? No problem, love. In my experience, romance is entirely possible with only one elbow.
What about hips?
Once they don't swish like they used to, my advice is try longer drapes.
How long is
the man planning to stay, anyway?
Too long, judging by the look on Norman Clegg's face.
Long-lost cousins, very difficult to remove.
If they think cousins are bad, they should try the wife's sister.
Some wives are tricky enough without a sister.
And they're going to stay that way.
The man needs to be frightened off. Sounds like a case for Nora Batty.
That's no good. She'll frighten Clegg.
I'll be with you in a minute.
What we need is a couple of display dummies out there on the pavement.
Where are you going to find a couple of display dummies?
You should ask that.
There's none in the storeroom. He broke the last one.
I didn't break it. Its head fell off.
Never mind. You've kept yours, but Lord knows why. Now, listen up. Imagine if I had two dummies in good condition, well, with no parts missing as far as the casual observer can tell, I could stand one each side of the door and create a very eye-catching effect.
I think that's probably true. If you had two dummies.
Well, what will you do when you get him out there in the hills?
Do? We do what any red-blooded adventurous male would do out there, which I suppose you could loosely describe as nothing.
We just enjoy it.
Aimless, you see. No purpose. No organisation.
Aimless is what we do best. Clegg's up there among the Nobel Prize winners for aimless.
I don't like people wandering about aimlessly. Life's too short.
Howard's too short, but he gets everywhere.
You need purpose. I'm teaching him upholstery.
Yes. Yes. He's teaching me upholstery. You get to hold little tacks in your teeth.
Could be handy if ever we need person with tacks in his teeth.
Look, we're sorry your bride died on her wedding day.
What's he talking about? My wife's still alive.
What? Well, then you've got absolutely no excuse.
And I'd like you to know that we are not always aimless. These two are seriously pathetic. Did I say pathetic? I meant, of course, athletic.
I thought pathetic pretty close.
Always in training, stretching their limits, expanding the envelope.
Which is not easy when your underpants are climbing up your back.
Have you tried jockey shorts?
They feel so strange without a horse.
Always in training for what?
You name it. There's very little sporting-wise they don't do to a professional standard.
But can they do upholstery?
He just missed the Olympics on account of a torn ligament.
Just snapped. You could hear it go twang.
You could? We all stopped what we were doing and said, that sounds like Alvin's torn ligament.
And this is a direct descendant of Robin Hood.
He laughs at danger.
Famous throughout the entire region for his dedication to acts of outstanding stupidity.
Never altered me, though. I'm still the same simple chap.
He is. He's simple. We can all vouch for that.
He laughs at intelligence.
They don't look like athletes.
In fabulous condition. Train every day.
Of course, it's a slower train these days.
Do they do hill racing? Up 3 peaks on a bicycle?
Do they do hill racing?
Good. That's my game, hill racing. We'll have a match.
Now, just leave your arms where I put them. Don't move a muscle. And look vacant. Lord knows you've had enough practice. And keep your eyes still.
What if a customer comes in?
Especially if a customer comes in. I want to see 2 statues. You never used to have any trouble giving that impression.
Why do we have to wear a bad wig?
Oh, every display dummy wears a bad wig. It's traditional.
It itches.
You can't feel it. You're made entirely of plastic. Mummy was a credit card.
Shouldn't we be smiling?
You've never been in a hurry before. Oh, don't let's be over-ambitious. No, just do vacant. Now, come on, both of you, show me vacant. What's wrong with the one you usually do? All right. Oh, that reminds me. When you were dusting yesterday, who broke the arm off that little figurine? That's it. Vacant.
How come I'm selected for racing bicycles uphill?
Thought of you immediately.
As you would.
But I'd have volunteered if I'd known you wanted a cyclist for racing uphill.
Your life's going to be uphill if you don't watch it.
Truly's the only one who volunteered. Only volunteered me and Billy. What about my torn ligament?
Oh, healed marvellously. It shows how fit you are. You should leave your body to science.
Hey, up. How tough a race is this?
And all uphill. Does that sound like much fun to you?
Aubrey enjoys it.
Aubrey's an idiot.
And you're an idiot.
Not that sort of idiot. Why did you lend him your bicycle?
Oh, you don't lend things to Aubrey. Aubrey kind of borrows them.
Is he any good on the bicycle?
Well, he has very muscular calves as a result of constant pedalling, not to mention his lips.
Well, the machine's not ideal, a borrowed bicycle, but I dare say I shall still give you both a thrashing.
Well, that can start without me. I'm currently between bicycles.
You can borrow mine.
Kill that, Howard. First chance I get.
Well, you'll have to master his bicycle first, or it'll take you straight into the bushes looking for Marina.
Right, customers coming. Let's have a rehearsal.
Do you think I should? You want to call that Alvin's bluff? If he thought you were getting dolled up for him, you'd scare him to death.
Why don't I just flatten him?
You save that till last.
Sharp!
That's just what you want. A wig as bad as that, but more blonde.
Those are terrible wigs. Mind you, they've got faces to match.
Oh, you do have to wonder why anybody would display faces like that.
What am I going to do with a blonde wig?
You're best to give that Alvin a fright. He's overdue for one.
Sharp!
Ladies?
She wants a bad wig.
I always thought she had one.
Blonde, but it must be reasonable.
She means cheap. Very cheap.
Now let's be reasonable.
It was a bit of a pull. Are you out of breath?
You hear about men doing things that can take your breath away, but it sounded more fun than this.
I wonder sometimes if we need more exercise.
That's a yes, Howard.
I used to have a rowing machine. I wonder where it went.
Howard, promise me you're not going to start bringing your rowing machine.
I wonder if there's anything upstairs.
Funny you should say that.
Of all the hills round here, they had to choose this one. Oh, heck.
You're really very fit, Howard. What makes you think you need a rowing machine?
It's a bit unsettling you going blonde, Nora. There are some things should never be tampered with.
Never been tampered with yet, and I don't plan to start.
She's planning a surprise for her neighbour.
I'll surprise mine one of these days if she keeps shouting and frightening Travis.
Why is your neighbour shouting? You've got a decent postal code.
She's between husbands.
It always makes her tense.
I think Nora's chemistry must have gone a bit unstable if she's going blonde.
No, it hasn't.
Wouldn't dare.
I'm coming, Travis. I shan't be long. You heard there was an accident in High Street? No, I wasn't there. It wasn't me. I promise you, Travis, I have not been staggering around with a cut on my head.
I don't know how she does it.
It's a mixture of superhuman patience and shouting at him. No, there's no need for you to go down and give blood. You need all you've got. I'm coming, Travis. No, I don't need a bed downstairs. Don't touch anything. Goodbye, Travis. No, not forever. I'll see you in a minute.
Oh, Miss Davenport, come in.
Hello. Mrs. Batty, I knew I had it somewhere. Is this the kind of thing you're looking for?
Oh, that'll do nicely. Thank you.
Is it your wig, Miss Davenport?
Yes. It was my glam period. Well, they say gentlemen prefer blondes. Also those who are very far from gentlemen, as one soon finds out.
I need to blend in more. I don't want to stand out.
Oh, Barry, I think you always stand out. I could pick you out anywhere.
I don't mind if it's just you, but I don't want the captain picking me out.
You want to blend into the background?
I do. I want to do a really good blend.
You want inconspicuous?
That's right. The effect I'm after is inconspicuous.
You're in luck. I'm doing this special on inconspicuous. Wait here, I'll bring you a selection. If it's not so inconspicuous that I can't find it.
I don't think I like this inconspicuous.
Just for golf.
Is it because I bought you those fancy boxer shorts? You're telling me, Glenda, don't buy me any more boxer shorts?
No. You bring some colour into my life.
I thought you were going to say, they bring some colour into your cheeks. Bless you.
Maybe I'm going soft, but I think they deserve a lift home.
Are you gone soft enough to buy a washing machine?
No.
You tell me when.
You'll be the first to know.
I bet Aubrey's bouncing up and down, showing off his calf muscles. He'll be unbearable now that he's won.
He'd be unbearable if he lost.
Yeah, that's true. At least he's consistent.
You think while he's in good mood he might buy a washing machine?
He doesn't have good moods. He makes bad do for everything.
Look! They've killed Aubrey! Oh, no, I mustn't say that. No, sorry, God. No, but it's fine by me if he's only so severely wounded that he has to go home.
You've broken Aubrey? How did you manage to break Aubrey?
His drinking muscles aren't as sharp as his leg muscles.
You were supposed to be racing, not boozing.
He did race. He beat us up every hill.
Oh, he would. He does things like that.
He was becoming unbearably cocky.
Oh, he does that as well.
So, we issued him another challenge.
Who could drink the fastest pint?
First 2 rounds were a tie, so we had to go again.
And again, by the look of it.
The landlord was very critical of his performance.
I don't think Mrs. Aubrey's going to be all that thrilled.
Can't send a bloke home in that condition.
That's against the Geneva Convention.
Don't start getting picky. I can send him home in any condition.
He should take her some small gift, like washing machine.
I'd never throw you in the hedge bottom except in an emergency.
Where do you want this?
Bye, Aubrey.
Bye, Aubrey.
Did something move? I could have sworn I saw something move. It did. Something moved. I knew it. Something moved. It's him. It's always him.
I think I liked Aubrey better when his knees were wobbly.
True. But I see Aubrey as the kind of person who had legs that would sober up.
But it shows he can't trust anybody.
Well, even wobbly, you couldn't live long with Aubrey's knees.
Not today. No trips out today. 24-hour lockdown. Upstairs, second bedroom. Get the paper scraped off the walls.
Well, it's really stuck on.
Then get really stuck in.
I remember Wagstaff didn't want to go to heaven if there was no marmalade.
No way was he going to live forever without a full English breakfast.
You have to suspect that heaven's going to be big on organic and plenty of fibre.
Anyway, Wagstaff was looking in the wrong direction if he wanted toast.
Today will be hard. Today will be very hard.
Harder than that.
Don't they feed you at home?
Food's always available. It depends how long I can stop.
Why? What's your hurry?
When you sit at the table with a wife and a sister, it's a question of how long can you take the flak. It's a choice. You either leave hungry or full. but mentally scarred.
He's always been mentally scarred. Everybody says so.
Particularly your wife and her sister.
Basically, I'm misunderstood. People don't know how to handle a wild, untamed child of the forest.
Who likes his butter?
I have to snatch a bite whenever I can. It's all right for some. Free and single.
Ah, but look what we miss in warmth and affection.
It's warm, all right. They give me a roasting at least twice a week. And that's extra. Doesn't interfere with the daily niggles.
Put your foot down.
I did. Trod on the cat. Now I'm accused of being cruel. I love that cat. It's the only thing I get to kiss goodnight.
Ah, she looks so sad. I think there's an old sweetheart somewhere she's pining for. He went off to dig for gold in order to keep her in wrinkled stockings with designer labels.
And if he's like the dozy rest of you, I expect he got lost before he'd gone 10 miles.
Lost? I've practically got a built-in compass.
Just like a seagull. And you've got the legs for it.
Why is today so especially hard, Howard?
Because I'm scraping wallpaper and I hate the loss of freedom on a beautiful day.
Ah, but the forecast is rain.
I love the rain. I've always loved the rain.
Since just this minute, you've always loved the rain. You have a tendency to exaggerate, Howard. And look at Marina. She's twice what nature intended you for.
Uncle, stir crazy. You've got to get me out for a break, Glaggy.
I've got to get you out.
Well, not just you. You can employ help if you like.
Oh, what do you want, the SAS?
Have you got the number? Oh, Pearl will go mad. They're so heavy on people's paintwork.
24 hours. A full lockdown.
He's been there before.
He feels it's like a challenge.
We accept.
All right then. After a full and frank discussion.
No, he's right. We do like a challenge.
It's not as if we're all so busy doing something else.
Oh, I was going to iron a shirt.
That's right. We need a challenge.
Breakfast, Barry.
Again. Another day, another breakfast. Where do we find the strength to carry on?
What have you got to?
2. And I wouldn't mind some beans.
Why don't we just get a ladder?
You think Pearl's going to be fooled by a ladder?
You think she's going to be fooled by a plank and trestles?
There.
That looks too low for Howard to escape by.
Just leave it to Truly.
I don't trust planks. I'm not going on a plank.
You won't be going on the plank. You don't think I'd allow you to do anything with an element of danger in it, do you?
Well, that's thoughtful of you.
That's the way I am. Billy's going on the plank. He laughs at danger.
I laugh a lot louder with both feet on the floor. You're right. I'm fearless. Everybody knows I'm fearless. Well, I've told them.
No, that's not too high. All right, up you get.
What?
Oh, come on.
I think Billy's doing an old English dance he learned in the Greenwood.
I think I picked up a splinter.
Next time I should try picking it up with your fingers.
If it's where I think it is, if he wants it removing, he's on his own.
Have you ever tried a dating agency?
I did once. It was all computerised. I think they sent me a virus.
Was he a gorgeous virus? For gorgeous, you could make allowances.
He wasn't gorgeous. You've heard of the boy next door?
Oh, that's not bad. The boy next door.
Unfortunately, he looked more like the door.
You must have made mistakes.
Yes. Though not as many as one would like.
Okay to bring dog in?
Oh, Mr. Entwistle, well, I shouldn't really, but if it's not for long...
Come on, dog. Come on. Nice and quiet. Come on, this way. Quick, quick. Dog, stay. Dog, highly trained.
I wonder if Robin Hood knew what he was missing. Instead of adventures in the greenwood, he could have been standing on a plank filling in little holes.
You've missed one.
What are you? A hole filler's assistant? With the eyes and ears of the hole filling industry? How long am I supposed to be out here?
Until Pearl sees you. Let her get a look at what you're doing, and she'll see it's all perfectly innocent.
Not to mention inefficient.
I'll clock him in a minute.
Billy, kind of leave me a few holes, eh? It's more me. I can't abide all this flash and modern.
Don't fuss. I think you've got flash and modern well under control.
Over here. What? Oh.
I didn't know that Billy Hardcastle was practical.
Well, you'd never mistake him for anything ornamental.
I wonder what he charges. Do you think he'd be reasonable?
I've never seen any signs of it.
I could do with somebody to look at my conservatory. The last man who came was a disaster. He was nearly as slow as if you'd married him.
I know what you mean. How is your Travis?
Oh, he's sulking because he's found out that I've been going out with Dennis Bradshaw.
You cheeky madam. When was this?
When I was 16.
He soon catches on, your Travis. It's only taken him, what, 50 years to find out?
He was looking through some old photos. I'd forgotten all about Dennis Bradshaw.
Was exciting as that, was it?
Every bit.
So what's upsetting Travis?
I was smiling in the photo.
How long are you planning to stand there, Barry?
Stand where?
At the window.
Oh. Am I standing at the window?
What is it? What's on your mind?
Absolutely nothing. It's blank. Zero. Clean as a whistle. A lot of people say that.
Say what?
Clean as a whistle. They're always full of spit.
Do you mind? Not in the house after a full breakfast.
Little bubbles.
Barry?
It's not escaped my notice that life can be disappointing.
Talk to me. Tell me what it is.
Don't laugh.
I won't laugh.
I'm at the age, Glenda, when men have their midlife crisis.
Oh, Barry, you've got another woman.
I haven't got another woman. I don't want another woman. I just want... Don't laugh.
I won't laugh. It doesn't feel like a laughing matter. What is it you're pining for, Barry?
I want a midlife crisis. How come I never get a midlife crisis?
Is this the best you can do?
Oh, pardon us, I'm sure. Were you expecting a chairlift?
Is it worth saving? If I caught him whilst fishing, I'd throw him back.
I'm not complaining.
Well, somebody is, and it sounded like you.
It's just that there are certain practical difficulties.
And she's downstairs, so you better get a move on.
What am I supposed to do with this flank?
Crawl down it, slide down it, shimmy down it, only do something.
Slide? It looks a bit rough.
Listen, if that can tackle Marina...
Your voice down. It's rumours like that get people in trouble.
Get a move on, man. You're wasting your window of opportunity. Look at it. You'd never think he used to be known as the human fly.
I was never known as a human fly.
And we can see why.
Which made Sir Isaac Newton wonder why the apple fell on his head.
I could have told him that. It's because he was sitting under an apple tree.
He missed that bit. Nevertheless, it was 200 years before Einstein started knocking holes in Newton's theories.
There's always somebody.
You're right again. You're good at this stuff.
Well, I like to take an intelligent interest in things.
It's the only way. Otherwise, you just get snowed under by the complexity of life as we know it.
I know what you mean. They keep altering the bus timetables.
There's that. Do you ever think about infinity?
Not by bus. It.
Norman Clegg says it goes on forever. Infinity.
Yeah. Makes you wonder about the afterlife. Especially when you notice your big toenails going rusty. Yeah, it's gone brown. Looks like a small tortoise.
So you're wondering if there's some place where big toenails don't go rusty?
Yeah. And if it stretches forever, I hope I won't still be pushing the handcart.
You know what the trouble is? The world's in such a hurry these days. We all have a duty to try to slow life down a bit. Not to worry. I think we just did.
Hold it steady.
It is steady.
It's thee that's not steady.
He's not very photogenic from this angle.
He's not very photogenic from any angle.
Just remember, I'm placing my life in your hands.
You've never had good judgment, Howard.
I once had to judge the best broad beans at a garden fete.
Hey, up.
Huh?
Wait, come quick.
It's not everybody knows a good broad bean. People can spend their entire lives and still find things to learn about the broad bean.
Howard!
But is there an afterlife? Don't expect a policeman to believe in paradise.
Some police do.
Then they must be working in an office somewhere. They're not here in bandit country.
Ask him what colour his toenails are.
You ask him.
Do I paint my toenails? Is that what you're asking? What kind of question's that to ask you, Bobby?
This week it's crimson blush. Or that last week.
He doesn't mean paint. His big toenail's gone brown.
And it comes to us all. And when you see this thing changing colour at the end of your foot, you realise it's got a mind of its own. That's when you start thinking seriously about the mysteries of life.
It's not easy to believe in the afterlife when you're a Bobby. The kind of people we meet, you can't believe God will want them for a weekend. Never mind eternity.
He's right. If they came knocking, a God with any sense would be out.
Anyway, we're not supposed to believe things without evidence.
What about the spirit world? There was a bloke down our street who used to see his dead dog.
That's it. That's your evidence. One dead dog.
Could be significant.
How did he know it was his dog?
It was wagging at him.
People know their own dogs.
He threw it a crisp, which it ignored, so he knew then it wasn't really alive.
You learn something every day. They don't eat crisps in the afterlife.
Maybe it was full.
Did he try and touch it?
A strange dog? Is that wise?
It wasn't a strange dog.
If it was wagging when it was dead, it was strange enough for me.
What is it that's troubling you, Barry?
Well, it occurred to me that you'd be the best man to know about midlife crisis.
What have you heard? About my midlife crisis?
You've had one, you see. Everybody's had one but me.
How did you come by this information? Has my church warden been talking?
Not to me, I don't know him.
I don't wish to be uncharitable. He's good with the fabric of the building, but I should warn you he's not entirely to be relied on as a witness. Freshen your drink?
No, thank you, Vicar, I'm fine.
I was under a lot of pressure at the time. I suppose they've told you all the gory details.
I hadn't heard a thing. I just wanted your advice.
My advice is keep away from the church warden. I'm fallible, I admit. I'm a human being. What do they expect? What do you expect?
I expect I ought to be going.
Sit down. You may as well hear the thing from the horse's mouth.
What did he call his dog?
What dog?
The dead one.
I don't think he called it anything. You'd look a right muffin, wouldn't you, calling a dead dog? he was embarrassed seeing a dead dog. I don't think he even told his missus.
So how come he told you?
He used to borrow my reading glasses. Maybe he felt obligated. Who's going to tell Auntie?
Looks like you need lift. Post off in back. Mind dog.
What dog?
I think you've lost a dog, mate.
No way. Never leaves. Faithful dog.
There's nothing in the back.
He does that. Hides. Blends with background.
That dog. He's as bad as you are with his dog story.
You can't just leave me because you failed once.
Who failed? It's thee who failed. We gave thee every opportunity.
To break a leg.
The man goes fearlessly off with Marina. You think he could tackle a plank.
Is that where we went wrong, Howard? We forgot to give it false eyelashes.
Follow a false eyelash anywhere, well, Howard.
I never knew they were false.
Where exactly has they been looking, Howard?
The man's not looking well at all at the moment.
I feel so deserted.
Like an old building. Makes you wonder what's been nesting in him.
We'll be back, Howard. We're just going off to plan the next move.
You're going for a drink, aren't you? You're going to enjoy yourselves.
We shall think of you, Howard.
We'll raise a glass to absent friends.
If you got me out, I wouldn't be an absent friend.
Oh, yes, you would. You'd be off with Marina. You're like a heat-seeking missile. What are you thinking of me, Howard?
Okay, right. That's the last time you borrow my mouth organ.
And painting's the way a girl can free herself from thoughts of romance.
Oh, yes. It lifts one above that kind of thing.
And here I am painting. And it's not working.
It takes a little time.
Do we have time? We're almost past the first flush of youth.
I admire your spirit. I wish I could deceive myself like that.
Me too. But you have to try. You're right. Do you fancy a drink? What a good idea.
At least you brought this back in one piece. Which is more than I can say for this. In all my life, I've never seen a more mangled, bent, twisted wreck. And for once, I don't mean you. I send you out with a perfectly good handcart.
Perfectly good? It's a bundle of firewood on wheels.
It is now. Look at it. Have you ever seen anything in a more pathetic condition? It's a splintered, battered, mangled, twisted shambles.
We need a new vehicle.
Which only needs a touch of attention here and there to bring it back to showroom condition.
You must be joking. It's totally past it.
When this was made, it was a time of quality workmanship. There's a lifetime service left in this hand-built example of the craftsman's skills.
Hey, this should fit nicely under Howard's bedroom window.
Tailor-made.
Might not be too expensive, because Auntie seems to be lying dead under the handcart.
I hope it's nothing serious.
Is that Auntie underneath?
It is. I realise she wouldn't want an expensive funeral, but surely she should ride on top.
What does your Barry miss about missing his midlife crisis?
He's not sure. He just thinks he's bound to be missing something.
They never had such things in our time. If they were feeling down, they just had a tablespoonful of stuff that worked like a drain rod. And they were light on their feet again the next day.
Barry's sensitive. He feels it's his right to have a deep emotional experience.
Well, tell him you've scratched his car.
I don't think he's ready for that deep.
Well, what is he ready for?
He knows people at work who went through a period when life seemed totally empty. He thinks they've started talking about him because he's never felt life's totally empty.
I'm sure my husband never felt life was totally empty.
I should think he didn't when it had you in it. I should think, if anything, it felt over full.
I'm sure Travis never had a midlife crisis. He'd have expected me to have it for him.
Does he rely on you for everything? You must be very close.
To screaming sometimes. But then, you remember that nature's made him not like other men. He's your husband.
Tell your Barry not to worry. He's not alone. My Howard's never had a midlife crisis.
Really?
Absolutely. He's not finished with adolescence yet.
I think my neighbour's going funny. He started insulting my hats.
Yes. How funny can you get?
I bought one yesterday. There's something I rarely do, but I couldn't resist it. It's upstairs. I'll fetch it. Fancy me buying a hat. You don't think it's a midlife crisis?
Howard!
He'll be fast asleep, dreaming of Marina or broad beans.
I'll wake him up.
Alternatively, he could have had a heart attack on account of excessive paper scraping and be lying there clinging to life by a thread.
That theory comes to you from one of the strangest imaginations in the entire catchment area.
Just a gift. We could be just in time to give him the kiss of life.
I think I'd sooner send him a get well card.
Wake up, you dozy beggar!
I'll wake you up, you dozy beggar. Suits you better than me. I must have been mad.
Where's your Howard?
He's out. I couldn't stand his long face 1 minute more, so I threw him out.
I'll have to go, love. Travis will be fretting.
Oh.
I'm glad the vicar talked you out of wanting a midlife crisis, Barry. What did you learn from him?
I learned that vicars have more fun than you think.
Talk to me, Howard. What's going through that thoughtful little head?
Well, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Yes. Yes?
Do you think you could ever learn to become really fond of broad beans?
Every morning we get this flurry of wind stirring up the dust, and it's you.
Well, I'm a flurry in a hurry. It's time you were dressed and gone.
Why don't you slip into something more comfortable? Like a good mood. Hey, sit down, join me.
Alone? With a man in his dressing gown? Never.
It's tea and toast. It doesn't mean we have to get married.
I used to see my husband in his dressing gown, only when he was poorly. That's what dressing gowns are for. Not for flaunting about in front of respectable widows.
Wait, it's not much of a flaunt. I'm sorry if it's getting you all emotional. You'll find things get easier once the fires in the flesh have died down.
They die down very quick when the only fuel is men.
Morning, Cleggy. I know you think I want something.
Oh, that's because you always want something.
It hurts me when you say things like that.
Well, what can I do to make it up to you?
That's very thoughtful. I was just hoping you could deliver this note.
No! You see, I knew you wanted something.
You asked me what you could do.
Howard.
All right, then. Just give me some advice. Man to man. I need someone I can expose my inner self to.
Well, you've already exposed yourself as being fundamentally sneaky.
I wouldn't say fundamentally. I'm only occasionally sneaky.
Occasionally? You do at least a 40-hour week and you're always ready for overtime.
Are you going to listen to me?
I'm sorry, but I don't speak English. I used to be able to speak English, but it's all gone completely.
I'm being serious here. Do you think it's possible to care for two women at the same time.
For stuff like that, you come to someone who wears thermal underwear? Give me that, I'll take a note.
We went to this barbecue.
I'm sorry to hear that. It muddies the image I have of you as a man of taste and refinement.
Stop taking the wee-wee. It was the wife's idea. When I say idea, of course I mean instruction. Yes, I was under orders. A cousin was doing it.
Oh, not only the wife's sister. Now you're having Barbies with her cousin.
I begins to see the weight of the injustices I have to labour under.
Women are bad enough, but there's really no excuse for Barbies.
Exactly. I laugh at you modern Barbies. They have this little gas trolley. Yeah, ready-made fuel, knobs, gadgets, does everything but clean up after itself. Call that a Barbie?
What was the food like?
Terrible. It's like eating a pair of trainers, both left feet.
You usually eat everything. I can't see you saying no even to a pair of trainers.
You feel obliged to eat. You can't start looking fussy at a Barbie. They'll soon get a reputation of being a big Jessie. That sends out the wrong signals for a direct descendant of Robin Hood.
Imagine. You could soon be known as a direct descendant of Big Jessie.
He put me in chains.
Sounds reasonable to me.
He was dozing in a chair, so I fastened his feet together.
Whatever happened to freedom?
You've worn it out. He's on his third bicycle.
Well, they're not really good round the house. The only hope I've got left for Travis is teaching him to bark. Who's this vision of loveliness?
It is I, Alvin, dreamer, leader of fashion, style king, determined to raise the tone of his neighbourhood.
That felt just like getting your hand wet.
I bet you have few equals at drinking through a straw.
Indulge me. I'm seeking to improve one of the eyesores of the area.
What eyesore in your area?
Nora Batty. I'm leading by example.
Oh, he knows how to creep round the ladies.
Creep? Felt more like he was wearing wellies.
In some respects, isn't insanity wonderful?
Hey, oh, looks like a foreigner, Alvin. Ravishing, but foreign.
Didn't I once arrest you when I was in the Vice Squad? No, what am I thinking of? It was twice.
He reminds me of somebody. I think it's Audrey Brocklehurst.
She had a bow tie?
No, and I can't explain it either.
Take no notice, Alvin. That looks delicious. I'll bet there's a danger to womankind, eh?
Only to the attractive ones.
Oh, that's a pity. I was hoping they might elope with a wife's sister.
I'll have to check my diary.
Well, I don't suppose they'll be coming then. That's too posh.
Too posh for what?
Oh, it's Billy's barbecue, a direct descendant of your Robin Hood barbecue.
A fry open the Greenwood. No artificial ingredients.
Proper fire. None of your poncy little trolleys. A real fire in the real outdoors.
Will there be napkins?
I'm determined to become a slim young thing. What have you got?
You'll find fairy tales on the far shelves.
All right. I suppose I'll have to settle for a bit off here and there.
Some of the bits in between could use some work.
That's the trouble with keeping yourself attractive. It's so time-consuming.
All the men want is looks. They've got no appreciation for one's inner qualities.
That's been my experience exactly.
Have you ever tried talking to them about imagery in the work of the major poets?
Well, maybe not all the major poets. I think I'm losing it. I've just been totally ignored by a man in the street.
I'm resigned to being ignored in the street.
But this one is quite uncouth and usually insults me with rude comments about my person.
Perhaps he didn't see you.
Well, he should have done. I went back twice.
I'm tightening shit, Glenda. This is the first day of the rest of our lives. I am going to be Mr. Organised. The old softy is gone. I am going to play hardball. If that sounds harsh, let's face it, the truth often is. You know me. Ask anybody. I come straight out, up front, that's me. Look at me. No, look at me. Straight in the eye.
I'm back, Barry.
Noted?
Noted? You usually give me a big smile. Sometimes a kiss.
Yeah, I've been meaning for us to have a talk about that.
You didn't even kiss me before I left.
And about that.
What's to talk about?
Is this kissing thing, is it really the right image? Does it say mover and shaker, power, personality, force to be reckoned with?
It says you love me.
Yeah, but do we have to let it interfere with my image? Okay, let's discuss this. Who wants a kiss then?
I couldn't do that one. You'd have to be raised entirely on rice to do that one.
I suggest nothing too drastic for starters. Something you could do anywhere as the mood takes you.
I'm determined. I'll tackle anything that doesn't dislodge an eyelash.
They don't look very secure.
They've survived some rough handling. Though I must admit, not lately.
Here! Jumping on the spot with arms outstretched.
I can do that one.
Oh, yes! Not only healthy, but it shakes the dust from the shelves.
We used to do that one at school. Only I don't know why. Because in those days I was already slim and lovely.
I think he's getting more exercise than any of us.
Down there looks good place for Barbi.
No, keep going. I'll know the perfect spot when I see it.
Oh, soon, I hope. I think we've just passed New Zealand.
Trust me, I'm running on instinct here. I'll find it. Somewhere wild but attractive. Sounds like the missus. Apart from the attractive. Take a left there.
Not real road. Where does it go?
Paradise, I hope. I've no idea where it goes. It just feels right. Trust me, I'm running on instinct.
He laughs at road maps and asking directions.
That's for big Jessies.
Never a big Jessie when you need one.
You're going golfing again.
I'm not going golfing again. I'm going as if for the first time. The new me is going golfing.
I rather like the old you.
The captain didn't, and I know why.
Because he obviously doesn't think you're as cuddly as I do.
In addition to that, it's because I let him get away with it. I was always too timid. I let him bully me. Well, not anymore. He gets in my way, and this time he meets Mr. Monster.
You won't be too cruel to him?
I can't promise.
Can I ask you a question?
Somebody's told you, haven't they?
Told me what?
That I'm a mine of wisdom and police experience. Go on, ask your question.
Nobody's told me you're a man of wisdom and police experience. Mostly they think you're a twat.
Professional jealousy. I get that quite a lot. What's your question?
I'm wondering what it is we're waiting for.
Waiting for?
Stuck out here, in Wilds.
Do you like it here?
It's all right if you're a field mouse.
You know, appreciation for scenery and peace and quiet.
I suppose it's good training for being dead.
You'd rather be somewhere in town where half the idiots are breaking the law and the other half are looking for a policeman.
You're right. It's great here.
It's our spot, lad. Every policeman needs one. Somewhere to take 5. Away from prying eyes of the civilians.
Can you tell us where we are? Only this twit's got us lost.
Wouldn't say lost. I'm just in between points of knowing where we are.
I'm sorry. We're not allowed to give out that kind of information.
Just a few directions.
It's a question of national security. Beyond that, I'm afraid our lips must remain sealed.
What's he doing way out here that's so important?
We have to stay one step ahead of the criminal mind. Would you expect the police to be out here? It's called the element of surprise.
They're taking 5.
Why is there always a troublemaker?
He wants arrested.
That's a lot of paperwork.
You're right. He gets off with a caution.
Now, ladies, how many of you use the library? Now, I know Glenda does.
She's young.
We knew she'd go off the rails once her mother wasn't here.
It's only the library, not Sin City.
No. But I bet they could give you directions.
Surely some of you are readers.
My Howard often changes his library book. I don't know whether he actually reads it. There's nobody faster at nipping out to change it.
Oh, regular. Oh, that's encouraging. What are his interests? What kind of things does he like?
I see the forecast is rain later.
We have a strong adventure and mystery section. The men like that.
It's a mystery to me what they do like.
Oh, well, something a bit meaty, I always find.
He's got that right.
I like a happy ending. Something romantic.
I don't believe in happy endings. I think you're far safer expecting trouble.
I haven't time for happy endings. I've got Travis.
I'm with Glenda. I'm a romantic.
If you'd been brought up chapel, you wouldn't be.
They don't do chapel like they used to. The world's gone to pieces since it lost all respect for misery.
At my previous library, I used to run small informal courses on the romantic novel. Would you ladies be interested?
Actually, it's looked like rain all day.
At this point, person with inquiring mind would ask, how far are you taking us?
I'll know it when I see it.
I hope the world is round because if it's flat, we must be getting near the edge. I wonder what language they speak round here.
Foul if you listen to those two in back.
I think your bow tie is twisted.
I don't think it's a tie. I think it's my neck.
I've not had so many ups and downs since I had to arrest an escaped ostrich.
How do you arrest an ostrich?
Very, very carefully. I'm gonna kick like a mule.
Now then, I've got a good feeling. Round this next bend and we'll be on to something.
Will you look at this? A car full of attractive ladies.
What's he been taking? I think I need some.
It's the new Barry. I don't know whether I like it as much as the old one.
That's tough, kid, because he's here to stay.
Don't worry, love. They have these little episodes. Reduce his protein and don't iron for a week. He'll come round fast enough when I need a clean shirt.
Be careful, Barry.
I say this for my Travis. He doesn't burn much rubber.
This is it. The perfect spot. Our spot.
Is it clean?
Oh, get down here, big Jessie, now. We need some wood.
Hey, is that what the greenwood is? We have to bring our own?
Truly once arrested an ostrich. I just mentioned this since it's not all that usual.
Ostrich was robbing bank?
Ostrich had absconded during long journey.
Long journey? Huh. Well, maybe Billy was driving.
Can I just have some wood, please? Can I have a little cooperation?
Well, I hope he's better at fires than he is at navigation.
So we made a few detours. I found us a spot, didn't I?
Yes, yeah, credit where it's due. It is, it's a pleasant spot.
It's great. The old instinct never fails.
Takes a few bad roads, though.
Bad? I could have sworn I heard a half-shaft crack, and it was mine.
Hey, up. There's no need to go overstraining this end.
I'm not pumping dirty great logs in this suit.
I knew no good would come from wearing a best suit.
Stand back. Let the woodsman get to work.
Woodsman want to buy a box of matches?
Who needs matches?
He laughs at matches.
Danger? I laugh at danger. Matches I just hold in contempt.
You're very quiet, Howard. You must be thinking very deeply.
You hit me in the eye.
As deep as that? It was an accident.
It felt like on purpose. I thought, what have I done? Absolutely nothing I ought to be ashamed of.
Yes, I've noticed that. I said I was sorry.
What were you doing?
This. It's supposed to tone your muscles.
I like your muscles as they are.
Yes, I know. Where's a girl going to find loyalty like that if she goes for anything fancier?
If you tone yours, I'll have to tone mine.
What happens then, Howard? When you're all lean and muscular?
I should probably need a faster bicycle.
She'll be away in a minute. I think she's a bit wet.
Takes one to know one.
This is the trickiest bit. After this, it gets easier.
Didn't we ought to send out for fish and chips?
But where? We don't even know where we are.
We're in the perfect picnic spot. That's where we are.
Looking forward to uncooked food.
All this way for uncooked food. If we'd wanted that, there's a choice of restaurants.
She's nearly ready to go. I can feel it.
Me too. It's called being cold.
Now I know why Robin Hood wore tights. Not tights, long johns.
The former Mrs. Truelove was very experienced in uncooked food. I used to wonder if she was raising salmonella as pets.
Has anybody got a match?
You get the idea. You know what I'm after.
All I know is I'm still pushing the handcart.
No, you're not. You're part of a team.
Yeah, I'm the part that's pushing the handcart.
A mutiny. We haven't even started and I've got a mutiny.
He'll be all right when I've had a word with him.
I wanted this to be impressive. A man, his coach, and his caddy. I thought, that ought to be impressive. You never think about a mutiny on the trolley.
You're doing this for Barry.
I don't mind doing this for Barry.
And then what are you all twitchy about?
Because I can't help noticing you're still not pushing the trolley.
That is because I'm supposed to be the man's coach. I'm the expert. We don't do trolleys. If I was his caddy like you, I'd push it in a flash.
He's here. The captain. That's his car.
I'm not pushing his car.
Keep him quiet. Just follow me. Remember, you're a couple of old golf pros. I want to see it in your eyes. Years of wind and weather and an instinctive feel for every bump and hollow. Good day to you, Captain.
Hey, what?
I was just one of your members. And his coach. And caddy. Always improving the old game, you know.
Coach and caddy. Looks more like Laurel and Hardy.
I think that impressed him.
You did his head. You impressed his head.
I think she's coming.
She better be. You've used all the matches.
All of them? Aren't you supposed to keep the last one for yourself?
We'll have a real fire out in the wilds, he says.
All right, so I'm not big on fires. I'm more your expert archer. I'm a longbow man.
You got long bit right.
You don't imagine how Robin lit his own fires.
All electric, was he?
It was more your executive function. A thorn in the side of the Sheriff of Nottingham.
It must have been a terrible sight in winter. No fires, their faces blue and wearing Lincoln green.
They had fires. He'd have his own personal firelighter, wouldn't he?
Oh, just like us.
Like one over there, it'd say, before going off to function executively. Can somebody else give this a blow? I'm running out of puff.
Hey, try this.
Not petrol. That's suicide with intent.
Not petrol. Ancient whole recipe for big fire.
You see, he's looking at us. I think it's working. He's impressed.
Where's it coming from?
Beats me. The good thing is, this is not one anybody can blame me for.
The perfect picnic spot. Look at the suit.
You know, even Sooty, he still reminds me of Audrey Brocklehurst.
Were you very close?
At school, she had a Mickey Mouse eraser. She said I could borrow it at any time.
Oh, as close as that. Pity she looked a lot like Alvin.
Of course, I'd have to see him in a gym slip before I could swear to it.
We go into wilderness, he says.
A bit of wilderness next to a golf course.
Hello, Barry.
Going around, are you, Barry?
You know these people?
Who knows? It was like dust. It gets everywhere.
Everywhere.
And how's your mother keeping, she asks. And their Bet says, she's keeping away, and you can't ask for more than that.
Who's that? It's him from next door.
Not him. Who's she?
Oh, I've no idea.
Oh, don't say that. She'll never be able to sleep.
It's no business of mine who he's with.
I know that. But how are you going to find out?
I'll ask him. I don't believe in being sneaky.
Oh, what about his right to privacy?
I don't believe in that much either.
You look at the world, and sometimes you think, where did it all come from?
I think the butler did it.
On guard! Pull up! Whizzer! Well, get the kettle on then.
Get your own kettle on. I haven't time to be serving passing lunatics.
I live here, I'm not passing.
Something else to look forward to.
We wouldn't lie to you, Mrs. Batty. We're hopelessly addicted to your fruitcake. So that's 3 teas with milk, no sugar.
You don't deserve any fruitcake.
You know what Confucius used to say? Man without fruitcake is like bird without tree.
I thought that was Entwistle.
Confucius got that from Entwistle? That's amazing.
You get daft, you lot.
You can but try.
Didn't I see you in the street this morning?
You see how she keeps her eye on me?
You weren't alone, I noticed.
Oh! You saw her, did you?
I expect she's not from round here.
Ah, but she might be soon.
Oh, like that, is it? Not just a casual acquaintance.
My lips are sealed.
Well, I'm sure it's of no interest to me.
Who was this woman?
A cousin on my mum's side.
Nora thinks there's more to it than that.
Then we ought to lead her on a bit.
Possibly a lot.
Don't be wicked.
Serves her right for being nosy.
She was raised nosy, they all were. They kept an eye on one another and it kept the place tidy. They hardly needed a police force.
Go on then. Let's be wicked.
That's 3 no sugars and a piece each. And I don't want crumbs all over the yard.
Oh, only slightly wicked.
She never
looks at me. I mean, really looks.
Oh, it sounds reasonable to me.
It's disconcerting when you're supposed to be close.
Well, it's because you're close that she doesn't look at you. You don't when you're living together. It's nature's way of reducing stress.
People who care look deep into each other's eyes.
There you go, Howard. I knew you were going to start getting embarrassing.
I bet your wife used to look deep into your eyes.
Once, when I got some grit in it.
Do you ever read the personal ads? I always do. And I saw this one yesterday. Cutie Pie, your golden boy is available. We should meet. Reply via these personal ads.
Cutie Pie? Well, who's this golden boy?
I'm wondering if it might be him.
Howard?
Oh, I know, but they do get carried away.
Howard as golden boy? That's really getting carried away.
Might be worth checking.
Might be worth forgetting.
I'd love to catch him out.
I can understand that.
It's a while since we did that.
Yes. And now I can understand why.
Oh, my left knee says, don't do that again.
What does your right knee say?
Nothing. I think it's soaking.
You should listen to your left knee. It knows what it's talking about.
Maybe if you trained it, it could tell fortunes.
I couldn't do with strangers consulting my knee.
Depends how much it charged.
No. You know what people are like. They'd come at inconvenient times. They'd have me rolling my trouser leg up at all hours.
That's breathing heavy, Howard.
The name's Wilkinson.
Give our regards to Mrs. Wilkinson. So, we've got Nora Batty curious about my other woman.
Nora Batty's more curious than that.
We should build on it. See how nosy she gets.
I don't think there are any limits. They could nose for England round here.
Suppose she caught a glimpse of this woman coming to my house.
Yeah. And suppose you couldn't get this woman out again. Yeah. You remember what happened to Charlie Bradlaugh?
Well, yes, but he was half Mexican.
He came from Norfolk.
Close enough. Anyway, he used to play the piano. The ladies go for those types. Alvin will be fine. He's totally unattractive.
Have you finished? It won't be a real woman.
And have you some unreal woman in mind?
Depends which of you looks best in a frock.
I was wondering, Miss Davenport, what are you doing in your spare time?
Oh, it's very kind of you, Barry, but you're a happily married man, and I feel I must decline. Don't think I'm not grateful for the offer.
Actually, I was just hoping for some ideas on what I might take up as a hobby if I have to give up golf.
Oh, nicely done, Barry. I like a man who knows how to recover. Trust me, I'm a librarian. Discretion is our watchword. Our little secret is safe with me.
Secret?
That you're attracted to me. Oh, if only it were not forbidden. But we must be strong, Barry.
Strong? Well, maybe that's it. Have you got anything on bodybuilding?
Oh, dear. Don't develop enormous muscles just for me. They'd only be redundant.
Wow. Is that the time already?
You're leaving?
Yes.
Perhaps it's best. Our secret, Barry.
Do not move. These premises are electrified. Stay behind the white line.
Call me cynical. I don't believe they're electrified. She'd never run up such a bill.
Is the door electrified? Shall we ever get out?
Out? You've only just come in.
Well, I'm missing outside already.
Where's your pride, man? Be a good loser.
We haven't lost anything yet.
Give it time. Now, what can we assist you with? Though I must warn you, there are no reductions for groups.
What have you got in women's clothing?
Well, there's me for a start. But I'm reserved.
Reserved for who?
For Mr. Wright when he comes along.
Well, that'll be a treat for somebody. And what will he look like, Mr. Wright, do you think?
Worried.
I'll know him when I see him.
I've left it a bit late.
That's because I've never met anyone as fascinating as my one true love. Money. Now, how much can I rid you of?
Don't look at me. It's Billy's idea.
And he's an idiot, which will give you some idea.
Look has to start somewhere. Idiot seemed as good a place as any.
We need something cheap in a frock.
There used to be plenty, but now they wear jeans.
We need the frock. Just the frock. We'll fill it ourselves.
I see. A takeaway, is it? What size?
Oh, flexible. We haven't decided yet who's going to be wearing it.
And who do you think might be this lucky person?
Him.
Well, it's in. Golden Boy, Cutie Pie will be at the Monkey tonight at 7. Oh, I hope it's him. I'll give him more Cutie Pie than he can handle. You're coming with me.
But what'll I tell Travis?
Well, tell him you're helping a friend out.
I'll make sure he changes his library books. If he's got plenty to read, he's not so bad.
Supposing it turns out to be some stranger.
Stranger than Howard? That's going some. Don't worry. He won't know us.
Why not?
We'll change our appearance a bit.
Good idea. I don't want to get involved with some stranger. If he's not a toy boy, he'll be at that age where all they're looking for is first aid and feeding.
You mean there's more?
There's no sign of Nora. The situation I'd normally be inclined to leave alone.
When she hears the door, she'll soon be at the window. She mustn't see too close, just a glimpse.
Just a glimpse is too close for where I'm standing.
You look divine, Billy. We were all remarking.
I look a pillock is how I look.
Steady on. You're speaking of the woman Nora thinks is mine.
I'm just glad our Robin's not alive to see this. Me, keeper of the flame.
I think your wick needs adjusting.
There's DNA behind this brassiere that belonged to Robin Hood.
Robin Hood wore a bra. Not many people know that.
Barry, it's a waste of your time off if you're just going to sit around the house all day. Hello? Coming number 22? I'm speaking to you, Barry.
Yeah. Thanks.
You're on autopilot, Barry. Will you please land and pay attention to me? Oh, Barry, go out and change your library book or something.
Library? What made you say that? I'm not going anywhere near the library.
It was only a suggestion.
I've stopped reading. I'm renouncing reading.
Barry, love reading.
Not anymore. It's dangerous.
Catch you later, hot potato. The monkey at 7. I'll be in my heaven at the monkey at 7.
What you fidgeting for? You've been shuffling about all day.
It's his underpants. My wife shrinks my underpants.
You mean the shrunk in wash?
No. I mean, she goes out of her way to shrink my underpants.
You should buy bigger.
They were bigger. There was room for a granny flat. She gets hold of them and turns them into stranglers. It's a terrible way to go, slow strangulation.
Why would she deliberately shrink your underpants?
It's obviously deeply Freudian, isn't it? I really don't want to get into that.
Sounds like it'd be better getting into that than getting into your underpants.
You see? People think it's funny. You get no sympathy for abuse from your underpants.
Are they jockey shorts?
They are now. Did you see that terrible looking bird?
Now that could terminally shrink your underpants.
They just take you for granted. You know, for a while you're Mr. Magic, and then you start coming second to the furniture.
Second's not bad if they're house proud.
You know what really hurts is that it's not even new furniture.
A girl has to adjust. The world never comes up to expectations.
How is Howard?
In relation to being swept off your feet, Howard is more your feather duster.
Sometimes one finds one has admirers in the most unexpected quarters.
It would help if a girl could be sure which of her quarters was most admired.
If you see me smiling, it'll be at Miss Davenport. I can't say I recognise you.
Steady, Barry. There's just been where very few have trod.
Where are you going, Barry?
I can't stop. I have to help this lady with her mortgage.
Get off! I'm warning you, Barry. I'm already spoken for.
Barry must be in a panic to snatch the first available female.
Yeah, especially when it looks like Billy.
Especially when it is Billy.
Now what? It was like going on a blind date. I've never had much luck with those. So I met Howard. No, I tell a lie. He sort of crept up on me.
Travis was more of a sort of RSPCA job. I rescued him from a bad owner. His mother. It starts out of sympathy, and before you know it, they're sprawling on your sofa and sleeping in your bed.
Well, as long as they don't leave hairs.
He's very faithful.
Howard's very... Howard. I'll give him golden boy. The thing is, I don't want him recognising me until it's too late. If he sees me from a distance, he'll do a runner.
Slap a bit of paint on, that should do it.
Do you think so?
Oh, it's like stealth technology. It makes the real you invisible to radar.
I've never been so embarrassed.
You should wear all this more often. You probably will be.
This is no kind of rig for an outlaw chief.
Chief of what?
All right, I admit, recruitment's a bit slow. There's only me and him from Cleckheaton, and he thinks we're doing it for the environment.
What happened to Roger of Huddersfield?
His mother came and took him home.
You should have recruited his mother.
We tried, but she failed basic ambush.
Billy, you're the last of the samurai.
I didn't feel like it in that frock.
Robin Hood used to wear tights.
Not with a girdle.
You were great, Billy. Did the trick.
Nearly did me head in. I do not appreciate a drunk outside a pub offering to show me a good time.
Well, I suppose if he's free and single, he's entitled to a woman.
But do you think he should be bringing them to the house?
Them? Is he running bus trips?
I've only glimpsed one, but that could be just the start.
What's she like then, this one?
I've only seen her from the back. I haven't seen her face yet.
Yet? You expecting to see her again?
He's meeting her at the Monkey at 7.
That's a long way out.
See what I mean? Suspicious. I mean, how respectable can it be if he daren't be seen with it locally?
And in the meantime, if we happen to be at the Monkey at about 7...
I want to know who he's bringing home. I'm not living next door to any trollop. Well, wouldn't you think people would mind their own business?
Man in big hurry catch early worm.
Man in big hurry catch early worm? Well, where'd you get that from?
Wise man from Hull teach that. Of course, for best effect you need worm.
To drive us all this way, Barry.
Barry doesn't mind, do you, Barry?
I don't, actually. There's safety in numbers.
Safety? What's he feeling unsafe about?
Oh, you know, just speaking generally. Life comes up with these unexpected dangers.
He's right. I once had to change our insurance man.
You never said.
And risk people saying there's no smoke without fire.
Barry's my insurance man. I'd never change him.
You maybe would if he jumped at you in the wash house.
What were you doing in the wash house on insurance day?
I was fighting off the insurance man. That's what I was doing. I thought he'd gone. He said he'd come back to look for his bulldog clip. I thought, yes, mister, there's no way you're going to find it where you're looking.
Barry thinks reading's dangerous.
He's right. Our Ethel always had her head in a book. And look what happened to her.
Oh, she had a good career. She was very successful.
Having to get dressed up every day. She's the only female in our family who's never known the comfort of a full-length shapeless apron. Inside a full-length shapeless apron, you can let yourself go a bit.
Or even a lot. Which I suppose in the end is the best defence against insurance men.
Looks like a Howard-free zone.
Give him time. We're early yet.
Is he really as sneaky as this?
Trust me.
He looks suspicious.
They all look suspicious. Who's going to come all the way out here unless they're up to something sneaky?
Whoops.
I know it's a long way, but I'm beginning to think that's a secret.
It's a secret you can keep as far as I'm concerned.
I always think there's safety in long distance.
That gives a girl heart to think when she's come all this way, At least she'll be safe.
Don't worry, we'll take the shortcut.
Where's the shortcut?
Stick with me, honey bun. I know this country.
I don't see any sign of your neighbour and his woman.
He said the monkey. I distinctly heard him say the monkey.
Are you sure it was tonight?
Well, it must be tonight. He didn't mention any other night.
Are you sure we've got the right pub?
It was this pub. I'm sure it was this pub.
Well, it's way past 7. I hope we haven't wasted your time, Barry.
I'm fine. We weren't doing anything.
I thought we were going to visit your Auntie Jessie.
Well, I thought coming here was instead.
No, we can go later. It's time you paid a visit.
We went last year.
Barry?
Looks like you're going to see your Auntie Jessie.
I wouldn't care, but she talks about her daughter all the time. The outstanding unknown genius of Western civilization. Teaches handicrafts.
Barry?
Every time we go, we have to buy another hand-thrown pot.
So this is what Mother meant when she warned me.
Warned you?
About men who offer to show you a shortcut.
All right. Which one of you two beauties is Cutie Pie?
I thought you might be.
Do I look like Cutie Pie? You could be having an off day. I'm his wife. I'm Mrs. Golden Boy.
Lucky him.
I was hoping the advert would bring you out into the daylight. But I didn't expect twins. You know what it's like. You get older, you need help. My money's on you. You look more the type. Oh, thank you very much. I'll take that as a compliment. At my age, you're glad if anything still shows.
Where does that leave me?
You look more ferocious than flighty.
Is there a purpose to this conversation?
There is. I put the advert in. He knows nothing about it. I was hoping it would flush you out. Could we inquire why? To see if you're still interested. If you are, I'll give you his address. You can take him. He's got 8 suits in the wardrobe. I'll throw them in as well.
Hey up, lass. That looks like has had a rough ride.
Tell me about it.
Found this young lady lost in the wilderness.
Fair enough. But did you have to drag her through it?
Don't make it up. She should buy her little gift. Maybe a new washing machine.
There they are, look. I told you it was this pub.
Ye gods, look at the state of her. He's not started bringing that home, is he?
Maybe she has a nice personality.
In a skirt as short as that, it makes you wonder where she keeps it.
Wow. It is rather short.
You just keep your mind on Auntie Jessie.
Narrow squeak there, Howard. The eagle eye of Nora Batty.
It could have been worse. There's one eye even eagler.